So I saw this and I was like, surely not. Surely. Don't call me Shirley. And, I'm not mad about it. It's whatever. I just think it's hilarious. The name of the movie is Single White Female. And Jenna Ortega is like the Pedro Pascal of actresses. Just people are so tired of seeing her and everything. I think Jack Black has kind of like been like that. It's like, oh, this movie starring Jack Black. It's like, are you kidding? We're so tired of Jack Black. There are so many great actors and actresses who much more talent, way more talented, that are just getting sidelined because they want to keep casting the same freaking people. But Jenna Ortega is definitely one of those. It's like she's like the same character in everything she's in. But single white female, not white females. Are they going to change the name? Jenna Ortega, this is on Collider. Collider.com, not .net, not .org, not .gov, .com. Jenna Ortega may be the next single white female. Again, I don't care. I just think it's kind of ridiculous, hilariously ridiculous, that they're going to make Jenna Ortega and the other chick the leads in a remake of Single White Female when neither one of them are white. You better hop on the Jenna Ortega train. No, I'd rather get off. I'm so sick of seeing her and everything. I'm so sick of Pedro Pascal. I'm sick of Jack Black. I mean, Jack Black used to be amazing. Everyone's so tired of the guy. It's like with Chris Pratt. People were like, man, Chris Pratt's in everything. Or he had his moment where he was in everything. Well, he was a marketable guy. He was cool and, everyone loved him. And like even the freaking raging lefty nutbags in Hollywood liked the guy because he was just kind to everyone. Like people would come out and attack him, and his co-stars from like the Marvel movies and all that, they're like, hey, no, when we're around, he respects everyone. He's a nice guy. He respects everyone. So when you have a raging lefty defending the guy, you know he's a good guy. But yeah, there's the moment where it's like, oh, Chris Pratt, starring the voice of Chris Pratt. And everyone's like, can Chris Pratt just go away? And right now, it's the same thing with Pedro Pascal and with Jenna Ortega. It's just they're in everything. I understand that there are just some actors and they just have those moments where they're just in everything. But the ones they star is reportedly in talks to lead a horror story that is near and dear to a lot of moviegoers. Single white female. The original was led by Jane Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Now Ortega is set to star in the remake along with Taylor Russell. The information comes from Hollywood Reporter. Released in 1992, Single White Female starred Fonda as a woman looking for a roommate to split the cost of her Upper West Side apartment. Her world is turned upside down when she realizes that her new tenant doesn't have the best intentions at heart. From the looks of it, Ortega and Russell would take on the lead in the lead roles in the story. Single White Female was a moderate success when it was released. Praise was directed mostly at Fonda and Leia's performances. It made over $80,000 million at the box office against a relatively small budget of just a modest $16 million. The modest isn't there, but it is in today's terms of budgets. A movie for $16 million? Oof. However, the movie's popularity rose when it was released in home video and in TV reruns. 13 years later, in 2005, the movie scored a sequel titled Single White Females 2, The Psycho, which no longer featured Fonda and Leigh, but rather Kristen Miller and Allison Lange. Don't really care what they're up to. Really don't. I'm starting to think these movies are not made for people who are alive now, but for the unborn to rewrite history and culture. I probably have less issue with Latinas being defined as white than the complete lack of ability of Hollywood to do original work. I remember the movie, but is it worthy of a remake? What new things does that have to? Yeah. Okay, so remakes are meant to take something that had potential, but just never lived up to that potential. It's like video games, taking games from like the Atari era or Nintendo era, the early Nintendo, like the original Nintendo, and remaking them makes sense because great idea, great story, but because of the limited hardware, it was never able to be fully realized. But with the hardware now and the game engines that are completely insane, they can remake those games and have it fully realized that the vision of what was they were going for back then can now fully be realized. Taking something that had potential and giving that its potential and unleashing that potential. You don't take a movie that was successful and be like, oh, we're going to remake it. Why? It brings nothing new to the table. Remakes are meant for things that had potential but just didn't live up to that potential. It's going to be about a single white female who tries to appropriate the lives of these women of color. She'll speak Ebonics and braid her hair and pour hot sauce over everything. But then they'll play scary music to show it's bad. Sitting there eating a bowl of cereal. For some reason, she's pouring hot sauce on it. And it'll be like rear window or Disturbia. They're sitting there with binoculars looking at this chick pouring hot sauce on her freaking cereal, and that music swelling, and you hear that string, and just as she's about to put it in her mouth, that's where the music climaxes, and she notices the two looking at her. Single beige female. What's the issue? Remakes happen all the time. They aren't white. Yeah, but Jesus was... Where did Jesus even come from in this? No one's talking about Jesus. Wasn't white either, and that was changed. So if we can do that, surely two actors playing characters in a remake, it's literally in the name. Single white female. It's called single white female. Either race matters or it doesn't. Choose one. I mean, this is the one. This one could be amazing if they make Ortega the bunny boiler. So hot. I can't get over how identical they both look. Entitled Single Off-White Birthing People. Exactly. Comedy writing itself, and we wonder why Hollywood is going up in flames. The white part indicates their inner virtue, or they were born in a snowstorm. That's referencing Snow White. Like, oh, she's instead of Snow White being named Snow White because her skin's as white as snow. No, in the movie, in the remake, her name is Snow White because when she was little, she survived a snowstorm. Not because she had skin as white as snow, hair as black as ebony, or lips as red as blood. But no, she was named Snow White because she survived a snowstorm. Maybe Jimmy Kimmel can join the cast. Is this like the Karate Kid remake where he does kung fu and no karate? Not a single white female. A Netflix production? This makes no sense. Again, whatever. But having the name single white females, then casting two people who are clearly not white, it's hilarious. It's like, I'm not even mad about it. I just think it's hilariously ridiculous. Another remake with Jenna Ortega quickly becoming Hollywood's lady version of Pedro Pascal. Put her in everything. Yeah. As long as it has the scene. Yep, the second interesting scene was Hetty making sure Allie could hear what was happening in her room. Okay, but who's gonna be playing the white female? Weird, weird. Two questions. Why remake the movie? Do they know that what the word white means? They're gonna have to change the title. Name the change the name to Two Hot Lesbians. It is the only way. Single off-white female. Creativity is gone, folks. All they have now is wokeify and race swap existing works with remakes and sequels. Dio. But it was me, Dio. One of these things is not like the other. But the title is, shouldn't the main character be a... Oh well, I'm guessing CGI remake, renaming it. It's a self-aware parody making race swapping. It could work. Oh, if it's a self... Okay, if it's... I'm guessing our buddy Pedro will be in it as well. You guys worship Jenna Ortega like she's the greatest, like this great actress. It's official. Hispanic Latin are now officially considered white. White? Wait, what? I like Ortega, but she isn't white. Maybe she's a friend or a daughter of a white MILF? To be fair, Ortega would be a better Snow White than the current one. Oh yeah, I was just saying the other day. Single Latina, lesbian, female. Should somebody tell them? White adjacent. So, out of ideas. So you can see people are just clearly tearing into this. Because again, it's not that big of a deal. But the name of the title, the name of the movie is Single White Female. Okay? Why do we have to race, if this, it's a race swap type thing, why not just make your own original movie? You know? Oh no, Silence, I don't even want it. Silence of the Lambs. Oh. I should have known, especially trending in United States. But yeah. Not even something to be mad about, it's just kind of ridiculous. Single white female remake starring two people who aren't white. Modern day, guys. Modern day. It's either fall in line and accept it and enjoy getting it, or not. And just enjoy having Jenna Ortega shoved in your face like Pedro Pascal or Jack Black. Starring Jenna Ortega and the same kind of character that she always plays. I know. Such a wide array and diverse acting talent this girl has. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.